I mean, that kind of exposure you don't get in any other job
Right.
at that young age.
Right.
So you have to be aware of that, and you have to be aware of your guidelines. But the whole purpose was that what after this? He was, yes, on my cadetship, and then of course I changed companies. He was also in different companies. 2000 vessels that are using our software solutions. Requirement was to get out of the vessel,
Yeah.
and because anything can happen to the crew.
Welcome to Sailor Talk, the podcast that navigates to the fascinating world of merchant navy. Today, we are in Chandigarh with Captain Arjun Singh Kalra. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, sir.
He is one of the youngest captain in Tri-City, and he is managing around 2,000 vessels a year, if I'm not wrong. Sir,
Yes.
how you start this journey from sailing at sea and running a business at shore?
I think it is the training at sea which gives you enough confidence to perform things, and this was particularly out of passion, which developed again at sea only. It was not that I was born with this passion, and with the internet getting on board, and we were getting time to look at new and new things. So interest developed towards IT, and then towards problem solving for shipping using technology. So that's how
So,
we shifted.
when internet came on board, you start bridging the gap between ship and IT.
Absolutely. I think the first ship I remember, which we had internet on board, everybody was very excited, including me. And we were lucky to get about a month's anchorage,
Okay.
where my interest developed towards developing a website. I learned HTML, CSS. That was very basic at that time, but I could make a website out of it. And it was intriguing to know these things, how what is the scale we can go to, and how can it help in optimizing various operations.
Anchorage is the turning point of your career along with internet.
Absolutely, yes, I think.
So, sir, I'll just go back to a little further. How you join at sea? Somebody is in your family or friend. They inspired you, or it is just like a thing when, if I talk about myself, I want to join army, but I couldn't make it there, so I joined here.
Yes, we had somebody in our family who inspired, and it was more fascinating to see how they used to come back at home and bring some good foreign stuff at home, and the lifestyle which they were living as well. So it was more fascinating, I would say, than inspiring at that time. And
Because that is the age when you are not inspired, you are more into a glitter things. Okay, this.
absolutely, yes. I think it's. Uh, I may not be somebody who's inspired at that young age. Probably we did not really know the meaning of inspiration, but it was more fascinating as normal kids would join merchant navy because it is fascinating. The money, the kind of lifestyle you can live, as well as the places you can visit around the world. Though of course now things have changed quite a bit.
Yeah, because now the shore leaves are not as.
Yes. So, but I think that was one aspect why I decided to join Merchant Navy,
Okay.
and he only guided me to get into this world.
Profession.
And I joined up in 2002 only. I joined my pre-sea training immediately after +2,
Okay.
and I joined in barbership management as a cadet,
Okay.
and that's how the journey started.
Yeah, Babar. Actually, that time it's very big company, Babar,
Yes.
and later on they changed their name also.
Yes. Now it's
So
Williamson.
yeah, I'll just add one more thing. It is for the all new joiners that the shipping is filled with lot of fake agents and fake companies. It is very important to know the right path, and right now there are so many organizations. I think sir also worked with one of them in Chandigarh.
Correct.
I think MMSI, if I'm not wrong.
MMSI was a company.
Company.
I was helping in CMMI in my younger time. During second officer, I started,
Okay.
and then eventually I became the chairman. When I was master mariner, I became a chairman of that
CMI.
organization here in Chandigarh.
Okay.
So we've learned from our seniors. We've moved around this area and helped various children who were looking forward to join this career, and told them what is the right way to join. You have to give interviews in the companies, and what are the right methods, and what not to do, agents
That
and
is
all.
very important actually.
Yes. So I think there are a lot of organizations as CMMI who are trying to disseminate this information around the country with best of their means, so that the people are not getting caught in the web of agents which are fake, but they get to know the right path.
Yeah, I purposely touch this topic. Actually, in every podcast, I try to deliver this message because even on the internet, there is so much information available on this topic.
Right.
But still, there also on the internet also, when you Google, you will find lot of fake accounts, fake companies. They
Yes.
try to foul up people and took their hard-earned parents' money and run away. And these guys, they break their dream in
Right.
between. So, sir, this is about the joining of merchant navy. I want to touch on this, so that's why I talked about it. So, how your career evolved over the time from cadet to captain?
So I worked in various companies, which was good. As a junior officer, I had shifted couple of companies, which gave me a lot of exposure of how different companies operate. Basically, the end goal was always the same: running the ships safely. And besides sailing, I was always, when I was coming back home, 1 or 2 days are good. You feel very good that you're on leave after
You are
long
sleeping
sailing.
without alarm.
Yes, and after about a couple of days, then personally I used to feel what next, because most of the friends had moved out of the city or they were in colleges, and we were hardly in touch after sailing. Cadetship was very fast, continuously sailing almost, and very short breaks and then courses and all. So you're always busy. But once I became an officer, third officer, I think after the first contract only I felt what to do at home, and
Okay.
started looking for avenues where I can probably do some constructive work, maybe a business, and that's how the journey started with that. Along the journey of sailing, I've always worked somewhere or the other, in business mostly, learned few things, met a lot of people, uh, and that's how the journey was.
I can say that everybody is not had a same mentality like you had, and that's why you end up here running a business, successful business, even in your hometown, Mohali. So because you started in early days when you are a third officer, second officer, and scaling up your shore skills along with your sailing skills.
Uh, I would not advise that to anyone right now. There are many more avenues. You should not take so much time to learn and perform in the business. Now you can actually learn through various techniques. You can probably intern with a company wherever you want to learn, or whatever business you want to do, rather than finding out or reinventing the whole wheel yourself. It is better that you shorten up that time. You should have a plan now. Now you can have a plan. Internet is available to you on board as well, and ashore as well, and there are a lot of mentors available. There are a lot of people who have gone through this journey, would be able to advise you how to speed up the process. So I think things are very much better now in this particular regard.
Sir, I would like to add one small thing to this. One of my captain, he said, now at sea we are having a agniveers, same like a army,
Right.
like 4 5 years,
Hmm.
like every third officer, every fourth engineer, they want to go for a startup.
Hmm.
So that is it. The way you are saying, it's good. If they had to start a business, then they had to start on an early stage.
Early stage, yes, because eventually it's a careership again.
When you join at shore.
Anything else you do as a career, there's no harm in moving from one career to another, as long as, see, in our case we are still with the shipping. We are doing somewhat better things, I would say, bigger things that could have not been possible during sailing. Sailing was always good. I never left because I did not like sailing, or my family said that you should leave sailing. Nothing like that. In fact, I loved sailing. But the whole purpose was that what after this? And can we do little better because we have only one life? Can we do better, bigger things in life? If you think you can, you should. Why not?
Right.
And
That is
there's
a
no.
very good point actually. And you are the one who is setting a limits for you. I always say
Right.
that if you can, then you should.
I think it's a game of mindset.
Right,
You
right,
you define your own mindset
right.
and you define your own limitations.
Very nice.
There are very good examples. There are very good people in the industry, outside the industry, whom you can interact and see how they have grown themselves. Or was it just because first they changed their mindset and thought that they can do it? Uh, I think you'll get a lot of answers when you meet people.
So, sir, actually, you had cleared so many things with this small thing, but it is very important to know that you are the one who only setting your limits, and if you feel that you can do it, then better to go there.
Right.
And yes, of course, when we came ashore, if we start doing anything else, then we have to start from scratch.
Correct.
The way you have done your training on board, same
Right.
thing you have to do
Right.
it ashore. Sir, you sailed, I think, from 2003 to 2019.
2019. Yes.
There will be so many good and as well bad memories. Sir, could you recall some of them?
I think mostly good. Sailing was always good. I loved sailing, the clean atmosphere. Of course, the schedules are tight, but you're trained for that. The job requirement is that you should happily accept it. Uh, Good because I saw so many companies, I saw so many countries. At companies' cost, we were hardly paying anything to go out.
As you said earlier, if you want to learn and learn
Yes.
on somebody else's coast.
We interacted with so many nationalities. I mean, that kind of exposure you don't get in any other job at
Right,
that young age.
right,
And of course, it gives you a lot of confidence to run the whole system. And you're, as a master, you're running the whole ship, which is probably millions of dollars.
right,
And you're trained for that. You're trained for high risk. You're trained for many other aspects which actually shape up your mindset.
right,
And bad things, everybody probably who has sailed along at sea may have seen some incidents. I have seen some incidents. I have gone through a seafarer abandonment also. That was in fact my last vessel only. And that's what I think I would say some bad part of the job, but every job has its pros and cons.
Sir, can we talk about that?
Yes, why not? We can.
Then please, sir, tell what happened exactly over there.
So I was in an Indian company.
Okay.
I was sailing as a master, and then
And
one
this is your last vessel when
this
you.
was my last vessel. Not that I left sailing because of that particular incident, but it just happened to be. And we had the owners who went bankrupt,
Okay,
and it was informed to us. We were in Anchorage in Mumbai only, and I was on a tanker vessel, and it just happened in few days. We had no idea that would happen. Of course, there were indications which probably we never read properly, and we always feel positive. We don't think negatively in any case. But one fine day, we came to know that okay, there are no more owners. You are on your own, and as a master, you take care of the vessel. You take care of the vessel without any supplies, without
and you have
any.
to take care with the crew, vessel,
Right.
and the weather situation. Everything is there actually. So many.
Everything, and you would not be supplied any fuel or food or water because there's nobody whom you can ask to get that.
Right.
Of course, there are P&I clubs, there are other places where you can knock the door, but we have seen the cases how seafarer abandonment is handled by everyone around the world, and it's not an easy time to go through.
Okay.
Yes.
But the difficult time always make it bring out good of you actually.
Yes, yes, I think you get to see the other side of the world. You get to see how which people or organizations are concerned about you, and you go through the whole like, different kind of experience, probably once in a lifetime.
Actually, what I have seen, whatever happened wrong on board, with related to ship, it is always blamed on a seafarer.
Uh,
Most of the cases.
yes and no, I would say. Now the world has changed. They are more reasonable, logical. So you also have to be reasonable and logical. You cannot just be subjective. You have to go in depth
Yes.
and make sure that whatever you are doing is lawful, is as per the guidelines, regulations. And if you're not doing, be transparent about it, that this is what I cannot do. For me, I think everybody is trained that for them, safety of life is the paramount thing at sea.
Right.
So you have to be aware of that, and you have to be aware of your guidelines, rules, regulations, law, and be within that limit.
So it is very much important know your set of rules, which is very much important for you while you are at sea. As you
Absolutely.
said, life of seafarer is always topmost priority. But
Correct.
things are happened like company bankrupt, then you are nowhere. Then you have to search each and every reference where to go, what to do, what are the organizations over there who gonna help you.
Yes, I still feel that there is not enough regulations or guidelines that are implemented for seafarer abandonment. There is lot behind the scenes. There is lot that you will go through. What is right, what is not, is still not defined.
It is nothing is on a paper. I can say that.
There are a lot of things on paper which are not practical.
Okay.
There are
And what is practical that is not on paper?
absolutely. So I think situations will also be different. We were probably in a better place, I would say, because Indian flag vessel, Indian within India, and some conditions were in favor of us. If we were in a third world country,
Then it will be a more difficult.
then there is no law,
Yes.
and whom to approach. That's
Right.
a bigger issue.
Right.
So that's I think situation will.
Final this one the your case hearing that I think in a first or second you were and you signed off and you get your dues also. I think
Yes.
hats off to your team and being a captain. Congratulations to you that you have done a very good job for your team on board.
Thank you. I think our prime requirement was to get out of the vessel,
Yeah.
and because anything can happen to the crew,
Right.
and probably I would have not forgiven myself if something happened to the crew because I did one thing less,
Yes.
or I did not do something which I could have done
Right.
as a master. So I think that was the mindset at that time. Money was secondary. We did not get it from the owners. We got it from P&I after a long time.
Okay.
But that was not the first
That
priority.
time.
Yes, first priority was safety, life of crew
Life.
members,
Yes.
and that's I think that is what actually guided us to the right decisions. A lot of people helped us.
Okay.
A lot of good people helped us, and we could have a decision in our favor.
That is very good, actually. So, sir, as you said, that is your last ship. You commanded on that vessel, and after that, you are fully into business. I think this is before COVID, right?
This is 2019, yes, and 2020 COVID came in. So once COVID came in, and I wanted a longer leave after that
Okay.
incident, and besides that, we started developing a new product. I met Captain Sachin Sikka. In fact, I was his cadet on
With
my
the
first
captain.
vessel.
Okay.
So he was second officer at that time. So we were in touch somewhere or the other, and it's
So he is, just correct me also. So Captain Sika is your mentor since you are cadet.
he was, yes, on my cadetship, and then of course I changed companies. He was also in different companies, but somewhere or the other we met
Okay.
at certain occasions.
Okay.
Never planned, of course,
Okay.
but we met, and we were always fond of each other, I think.
Captain Sachin Sika.
Yes, of course. On the vessel, he was too strict, and you are a first chef cadet, so it's required to be like that.
Yes,
But
yes.
I think there were certain things that matched,
Okay.
and 2019 only we came together,
Okay.
and we built product called Digimoor X7.
Digimoor X7.
That was for mooring system because things had changed, and we were talking before that also 2018. Before that, in fact, we were talking that one of his chief officers had lost both his legs due to a mooring incident. And what can we do? Because I was doing IT besides, and he was also running compliance or regulatory compliance business. So he was doing audits and all that. So we were thinking, we were brainstorming, and then 2018 MEG4 came in. OCIMF launched a new version of mooring equipment guidelines.
Right.
That changed a lot of things, and we both went into the publication, read thoroughly,
Okay.
and we could see that there are
There
going
is
to
a
be
scope.
major change in this system for good. Um, Eventual goal was that the ropes should not fail during its intended service, and the statement looks very simple, but the compliance will be quite a bit for the
Okay.
companies to change. And we thought it will require a software, it will require a services around that. In 2019, we came together. One of the companies supported us in building that solution,
Okay.
and that's how our journey together started.
So, sir, you are working on a mooring lines. You worked earlier, and now the technology is changing so rapidly that AI can make the things which is not minute before. Because we had a lot of data available on AI. Sir, could you elaborately tell about your firm, what they are doing, how they are working? I think you are Mohali based. Then you had office in Gurgaon also.
Correct. So we
It's a
have our
synergetic.
representation. Synergetic Shipping Technologies is our company. We have merged two of the companies very recently. We had two companies. Now the brand is Synergetic Shipping Technologies Private Limited. We are based out of our manpower is located in two major locations. One is Mohali and one is Gurgaon. But we have representations all around the world,
Okay.
and all major shipping lanes we have a representative available. What we do here in Mohali is all tech.
Okay.
It's all software related solutions. In Gurgaon, we are handling more of services business, which is auditing. We do a lot of SMS revamps. We do services around VDR analysis, and we do regulatory compliances. We help a
Okay.
lot of companies make reviews, design reports, and all that. In software, we were doing particularly few things only. We were doing restas, we are doing mooring, we are doing payrolling, we are doing auditing related aspects. Recently, we have scaled up more, and we are now building the whole suite of
Okay.
ship management. But like you touched upon the topic of AI, so now we are heavily working on AI. This suite is also based. The base is AI, and you will be able to talk to your data. You will be able to visualize your data without any extra effort
Yeah,
from
as
the
you
seafarers.
are telling me before also before this show that soon you are working on that. You just give a one command and you will even have the images, the layouts of the
The
vessels, and
analysis,
yeah, and
graphs,
yes, every.
everything available to you just by a voice command.
So right now, sir, if I can just by numbers that how many vessels exactly you are handling from Mohali itself?
So from Mohali, we are above 2,000
2000.
vessels that are using our software solutions,
Okay.
and all in all, we touch about 3,000 vessels in a year. Last
Okay.
year, we did that with our services and with various services and software both. So Mohali team looks after tech, so they're about 2,000 plus
Okay.
vessels.
Sir, as we are talking about technology, it is changing rapidly, as I said earlier, and shipping is also changing rapidly.
Yes.
There is a big shift of women seafarers. Right now, I call it seafarers. So they are coming at sea, and I have seen one of your article about that you and Captain Sika is working toward the women friendly mooring stations.
Uh, well, we did that for a company. We were still doing for that company. We are doing design reviews of their mooring systems. That's a requirement of TMSA as well. You need to do design reviews of your existing ships so that the new ships that you are coming out with should have sorted out those problems. So one factor of that design review was diversity. That
Diversity.
whether everybody will be able to operate the mooring systems that we have on board, the designs and the layouts and the probably the force required to operate that, the line diameters, the uh, weight of the lines. Just giving you a simple example, we have those mooring winch brakes.
Yes, it is quite
Sometimes
big.
they are quite big,
Even I felt so.
and whether female seafarers will be able to reach that height or not, it's a very basic thing. And when we went about doing that design review, we had to read a lot of research papers on how the average body build type requirements of females are, apart from seafarers, because in general we have to first see. And we were very excited when the company told us this. It was new to us. We told them that we have never done anything like this.
Actually,
And
it is very exciting because I can say there are companies those are taking initiative for a women seafarers.
absolutely, they are very serious companies. And it was not told to us just for the sake that we want this in the report. They were very serious about it. Whatever work you do has to be right. We should be able to use that and implement it. Not that it's just for the sake of an audit.
Or only on paperwork, or we
Yes.
are just escaping from some
Yes.
of the things.
Yes. But they were serious about it. They are still serious about it, I think.
So, sir, you are collecting a data on it and analyzing that?
We had to go through a lot of research papers.
Okay.
We had to extract information from that, because we cannot just subjectively say that this is right, this is wrong.
Okay.
We have to have a base of what we are saying. Every word what we write in the report has a base, and we can backtrack where that word is coming from, where that analysis is coming from, where that data is coming from, and why we are saying so. Because it is going to affect somebody in the future. It may Mooring is such a high risk operation on board.
Yes, there are so many accidents actually.
The whole reason of doing Digimoor was that we don't want another incident to happen on board. We don't want another life to be lost because of mooring systems.
Sir, that's what you are doing with the right ship. I think zero harm.
Yes,
I
so,
think it is related to this.
Right Ship has very kindly acknowledged the work that we are doing, and for mooring safety, they have given us a recognition that vessels which are having Digimoor, using Digimoor, they get a special mooring safety badge on their vessel profile in the Right Ship portal,
Okay.
because we align with their vision of zero harm innovation. The innovation is directed towards zero harm goals that they have. It aligns with our goals. So they recognize that.
Sir, right now I can only comment that the things which you are doing, it looks very fascinating as of now, but when it come practically, it will be a drastic change for the on-board team, because parting a rope, it's a very big challenge, and especially if I share my experience, we were in Salala. I'm on a container vessel, and we were in Salala, Oman,
Right.
and that port is very
Port
known
Salala,
for currents, and it is a open sea port.
Surging is there.
And yes, and we had a 4-line parted,
Hmm.
but luckily no one is there.
Hmm.
And it is like a very important and crucial stage when ropes are parting,
Right.
and if somebody is there, it is very difficult to escape.
Right.
The companies those given a task to you, and you took initiative to work on this.
So I'll tell you the other side of the story. On When we were on ships, I think I should not say it openly, but probably I was also one of the lazy masters who would not want any new thing to come on board. Ek aur nayi cheez aa gayi. What is
Because
this?
then you have to review all the
Because
things.
you are loaded with so many things that
Yes.
every day, and one more new thing.
Right. It is a big hassle.
Your hard disk is already full.
Right, right.
Right now, you don't want any new thing to come in.
And especially when it happens, you are about to sign off.
And now we are developing things. We make sure that it is the seafarers don't feel that pinch. The master does not feel that pinch that there's a new thing which has come up. For them, maybe they are just entering data right now, right? But what we are doing in the background is for a mission that their lives are not lost at sea because of this particular aspect. So we are utilizing that data in such a positive format. for seafarers, we made it very simple on how they are going to enter the data. Now the rules, even SOLAS regulation has come in last year that all ships have to comply. So they need to record some data, which we are recording in a very simple format. We've given the easiest format that is possible. But what are we doing with that data? There are so many regulations and guidelines which tell you what to do in mooring systems, how to operate, what to record, what should be doing, what you should be
Actually,
doing as
especially with the
testing,
running.
inspections, and all that. There are a lot many now. Uh, there is only one goal, I think. The goal, like I mentioned earlier, is basically the ropes should not part during their intended service.
Right.
Intended service is a very, very big word because intended service will be different for each vessel. So intended service will depend on a lot of factors, and it's not same for each vessel. What we are trying to do with the data, and if we had unbreakable ropes, we don't need any regulation.
Right.
Ropes are never going to part. Nobody's bothered about that.
Right.
And it's never going to harm any seafarer, or it will never be catastrophic. Ships will never move out of the jetty. But that's not the case. So we are trying to work on that goal, that we are able to predict when will a rope part and in which port. Basically, before going to that port, you will know that I am at very high risk. This port, my rope is going to part. We are very close to releasing that data.
This will be, sir, a very big thing. I can say I don't talk about shore, but yes, on board it will be a very big relief. Very big relief.
I hope we are able to do that for the fraternity. It's more of a cause which is close to our heart. It's not commercially driven, I would say.
Because you are at sea and you have seen so many incidents, as you mentioned earlier.
Right.
Also, there is an incident where chief officer lost his two legs.
Correct.
Actually, if we talk about the accidents on board, I think stations is the one of the biggest factor where the accidents happen as comparison to any other area.
Yes.
So, of course, if we will have the safe mooring ropes, then we can avoid those accidents.
Yes. So I think you're right. Somebody has to do it,
Yes.
right? Somebody has to follow that. It's not always see, in our product software product industry. What we have is good to have and must have. Must have is only when there is a rule which somebody needs to follow, and
Good
good
to
to have is that you're doing something for the betterment of the society or for the betterment of the seafarers.
Right.
It's only good to have for commercial aspects, and
Yes.
some companies will onboard that solution, and a lot of companies will not because it's a cost.
Right.
And so we already have a must-have solution. Now we are also working for
On
good to
good to
have, along with that, probably as a free solution, but that satisfies our requirement, personal requirements, I think.
Sir, now I will talk about the other side of the coin. You sailed at sea, being a master. And sir, what is the difference on board and running a show at shore? I think right now you are managing about 23 to 35 people in your team.
Yes. Total strength in our company is crossing 35 now. We'll
Okay.
be 40 soon. Both our offices, me and Captain Sachin, we manage these teams. Managing teams ashore and
On board.
on board is very different. Very, very different. On board, everybody is trained for their role, and I think there are two factors which I always talk about: responsibility and authority. That is very, very clear for people on board. They know what are their responsibilities, they know what are their authorities, and they follow that every day. Ashore is somewhere not yet there because they have never worked out at sea. They are never trained about that industry. So we try to do that training. We try to inculcate that. But as a management, we need to understand it's different. We cannot have the same environment here. Even if, let's say, you are constructing your house, you cannot manage the laborers the way you manage your staff on board.
Right.
They will run away.
Right. And
So-
it happened. I knew some of the captains. They start up, and they end up very soon because they are using the same mindset the way they are doing on board, and when they do it on shore.
Like I mentioned, you are cadet again. So learn how you will be able to manage staff here. I think you'll have to erase a lot of things from
Previous
your
data.
onboard journey. Keep the good things with you, and just learn the changes, because there are a lot of good things you learned at sea. The training was such good
On
for
board.
on board, even ashore. But take that with you, but erase some things and relearn some things, how you're going to manage things here. What are the requirements, unique requirements of people here? And where are they coming from? What is the background? Where they want to go ahead? Whether they want to go ahead or not? And how you can actually motivate your team towards your goal. That is because on ship, everybody knows what is the goal: carrying
Yeah.
cargo
Yes.
safely from one point to the
To
other,
yes.
and clearing inspections, clearing the requirements of owners and charterers. So it's very clear. It's inculcated from day one,
Yeah.
and people are aware of what to do, what not to do, what not to do. Majorly, I would say.
Mainly.
So here things are a little different. Yes.
Sir, what are the challenges you faced when you scaled up before COVID? As you said, that is your last sailing, and you started scaled up, and from that time to now, there must be some challenges which you felt that this is the biggest one.
So particularly shipping industry is a high risk industry, right? And implementing a new solution for any owner or manager is challenging, because they need to be sure of what company is giving them that solution, what is the solution going to do, what are going to be the outputs. So initially it is difficult to tell companies that you are not a fly by night companies. They can rely upon your solution for a longer period of time. It's never that a solution will come to your ship which will go away in 3 months. They are looking at 5 years, 10 years down the line. How will this help me over those years? Whether I have to keep on changing the vendor, because the cost and time and energy required to implement a new solution on the whole fleet,
It is a quite hectic job, and
it is quite a bit,
yes,
and a lot of responsibility.
yes,
Your solution giving something wrong, it can have a lot of liability. And
right,
then who brought that solution into the company
They-
is again a question to ask.
right,
So initially, it takes time to tell the managers in those companies that you are not a fly-by-night company. It they can have confidence in you. Your solution works. They can take references. But I think that was one of the challenges which we had initially, and shipping adoption of new things in shipping is at ship speed. It's not at aircraft
it's
speed,
always in knots.
and it moves very slowly.
Okay,
So decision making is very, very slow in shipping companies. There will be certain companies which will just make a decision in a week. Then there are companies which will require at least a year to make a decision.
right.
So you have to be patient about that. I
Actually,
think persistence is what is needed in any business. I would say shipping little more.
yes, sir. You are very much right. Actually, they always take some time to take a decision.
Yes, and you need to understand their side of the story.
Yeah, but that
Where
I
are they
actually
coming from?
that's what about to come on that, because when they are taking a decision, they are also having so many liabilities
Yes,
to make that decision.
correct.
And but it happen other way around also. Sometime if like you are working on that, and especially you are working with the mooring, and when you had a good data, I think then it is very clear picture. Okay, we can opt it, because then they had a liability, but still they feel okay. No, this is the good one, which will reduce my cost, and as well it will work for my company also.
Yes, and then there is a chain of command to convince.
Yes, that is
That is
another
another
story.
story.
That is another story. That is
Yeah,
another
so
story.
that we have to accept that fact,
Yeah.
and be persistent. And shipping career has given us good habits, also good money, also. So we could have some time awaiting for that day to come that we'll start selling.
Right.
So that's I think that was major challenge, I would say.
Sir, I'll talk about your team. Do you have anybody in your team from C, like fourth engineer, third officer, second officer, who is with you and working with you on IT side?
On IT side, yes, we have 7 marine engineers.
7 marine engineers.
Yes,
Very good
and
actually.
we have if we talk about, say we IT is, if you're talking only and only about software development, yes, marine engineers are there with us. But we count it as a whole because we are offering a solution, right? So it requires a lot of maritime expertise. It requires regulatory compliances. So we have master mariners also
Okay.
who are there in our team who help us. Besides me and Sachin, we
Captain
both.
Sachin.
We also have one advisor. Captain Carlo is one of our advisors for one of our software, and we have full-time master mariners also who help
Okay.
us build the solutions
Okay.
and manage the day-to-day activities also. We are also having a naval architect.
Oh,
Yes, for certain reports we need that, and that's the maritime side of the company.
okay.
And then we have consultants who are all placed all around the shipping lanes in the world, and they help us do the onboard part of our services.
Sir, AI is really shaping everywhere. How about shipping?
I think there is a good positive side of AI adoption. I would not say that it is already there. People have adopted. The people have adopted the ready on the shelf off the shelf solutions which are available. Certain companies have gone into depth and they are starting to build new solutions along with AI because they understand what will be the output, and they understand how much man hours will reduce, how much eventually the cost will reduce, and the errors will reduce, how the AI is going to help them. So we are running few prototypes, I would say, with certain companies on certain things for optimization, automation, and we are using AI within our company.
Okay.
We are using AI within our softwares also now. So I think future, I would say present is AI.
Not future.
Yes.
So, sir, is there any danger for onboard jobs from AI? Because this is, I always had a one session, I had a one group where I used to ask. So then they said, okay, as they are working in this field, so ask them this question: is there any danger for the onboard jobs from AI?
As of now, I don't think. As of
Okay.
now, I don't think it is more of assistive because day by day the rules regulations are increasing, and we need assistance. People on board are reducing. Number of seafarers
Yes.
on board are reducing.
Yes.
Total number has gone much low than 20 years back.
Right.
So they need a lot of hand-holding assistance, and these are tools which will help them. As of now, it is like that. There are autonomous vessels which are there, not to full scale. I don't know how many years it will take, like autonomous cars.
Yes.
So it's, I think next at least 1 or 2 decades, 1 decade at least, I would say. I After that, what happens nobody knows,
So it
because
is
it's moving
very
very fast. So we can't comment what will happen after 3, 5 years, 10 years down the line. But right now, I don't think.
So it is very important to the guys those are selling at sea to update themselves.
Absolutely. We see a lot of companies are proactively doing trainings for their office staff on AI, how to use AI, how to use generative AI. And seafarers should be aware of that. There should be courses around that. I feel because seafarers are used to do courses and
Which is
compulsory courses only.
outdated.
We long time back we did a survey where we wanted to check whether seafarers want to learn anything out of their normal syllabus,
Okay.
and we got 100% response as no.
Really?
Yes, these were junior officers mainly,
Okay.
and that means that they only want to do the courses which will lead to their promotions and whatever is made compulsory by the companies. So that is the only choice. I think it should be made compulsory by the companies. Maybe at a government level also, I think it should be incorporated within a syllabus because it helps them. And you should also know what not to do with AI,
Right.
right? You should be aware of how you make a decision. You cannot rely 100% because it depends on what kind of input you are giving. That will decide
The
the output.
prompt which they called in AI
Yeah,
language, right?
prompt.
Yes.
If you are talking about generative AI, prompt, yes.
Yes.
So if your prompt is not correct, your answer will not be correct.
Right.
And where is your answer coming from? How much is the probability of it to be accurate?
Right.
Can you base your decision on that or not? how to use it in a way which will not affect your position on board ship. So, because you are still responsible to follow the guidelines and the rules.
Yes, yes, of course.
You cannot say that I
You can
searched in the
AI and
AI
I,
and
yes.
they told me to do this, I did the same thing. You cannot say that. But you can use it to your advantage.
But sir, this is quite upsetting. I always talk about Gen Z, that they are more updated on technology side. But as you said, this response is from the juniors, that they don't want to learn or they don't want to any other course, which will lead to generate more knowledge. So it is a very upsetting data actually.
So, that is the data we did from a survey. So, I am very sure about it. There will be exceptions. There must be exceptions who are good at learning, who are eager to learn. You are here. You are doing podcasts out of your interest.
And even sir, you are running more successful business at shore.
So there are always exceptions, but on a general data, I am saying that yes, they are not very interested to learn new things.
But sir, I'll relate one more thing to this. On board, when you ask like every third officer or fourth engineer, they want to do something at a shore. I don't know what they're gonna do if they are not interested to learn anything. This I can say 100%. I had a cadet with me. He always say, "No, I will not sail. This is, I will not give exam. I will do something else." And but this is totally contradicting with your data, with the survey which you have done.
No, I'm not saying that they don't want to do anything else. What I'm saying is they don't want to learn.
They don't want to learn. Okay, they want to do, but without
they want
learning.
to do without learning.
Without learning.
Without self-learning.
Self-learning.
They want some hand-holding. Somebody will come from the skies and
that will
hand-hold
help.
them to bring a new change in their life. But there are people who are doing very well, who have come out of sea and doing very well for the shipping fraternity only.
Right.
I think it is a social responsibility for people like us also to mentor and to guide people who are really serious about doing something better and bigger uh, from their experience at sea. And people should connect. And then they have to be sure that whatever is being told is also being implemented.
Right.
Right? I have come across many seafarers, like you said, they want to do something and they would come and meet, very nice. They would not come again and they are still back at sea and still saying the same thing. So you need to be serious.
If you want to sailing is not a bad thing, as you said
Absolutely.
earlier.
You
Then
have to
keep
make a
it.
choice.
Yes. Then just stay.
You still want to sail. Why, nothing wrong in that.
Yes.
It's a very good career.
Sailing is a very good career.
Yes. If you want to do something bigger, better, if you just want to leave sailing for the sake of leaving, then you don't have a plan.
So this is a very good statement.
You should have a plan.
Yes.
And you can plan your liabilities also. You can
Right.
plan your EMIs also. You can create a fund which will take care of that for a certain number of months or a year or 2 years. I think you can do that.
As you told me earlier also during our pre-production meet, that if you really need a money, then sail for 11 months a year. You'll
Right.
have good money, and then you can survive
Who's
at
stopping
home.
you for that?
Yes. Then you can survive at home for 2 to 3 years, and you can do whatever you like.
Correct.
But
Correct.
there should be.
That is one part of the plan that you're going to do when you're going to move out of sea.
Right.
To experiment something.
Very nice.
But you need to be, you need to have justice to the thing that you're trying. If you're trying a new business or a new job, give it some time. Don't make decisions too fast. Let's say 2 years,
Of course.
at least. That will tell you what to do, what not to do, whether this is the life you want or you are better out at sea. You will be clear and you will also not have any regrets that you never tried out anything.
Yes, sir. I will talk one more thing when we are touching this one. It is about, I think, 90 hours. One of the guys said 90 hours.
Right.
But how about your office? Are you giving off to weekends, or how it is?
No, we are often at weekends. I personally believe that if you cannot finish your work in 8 hours a day, you will not be able to finish it in 10 hours also, right? That means you're not planning well.
Okay.
And you get 2 days off for your family, for any kind of work that you're doing. You get various leave policies are there, so you get those off also. But then the time you are working in the office, you should do justice to that time. These all facilities are given for the fact that you can do justice in the time you are working in the office. So 5 days, 40 hours, if you can work, overworking will never help. It is not a blue collar job that we are doing,
Right.
right? It's not that man hours that you need to
But
put
you
in.
have given a 1 week off on board also. That I can say there we are doing a blue collar job also.
See, the output, it should better.
So
Not
then
that,
we'll come to output.
yes, what I'm saying is that if you can give that kind of output in 40 hours, uh, we, we are putting brains to work. We are not putting hands to work, in our case particularly. So if we were putting hands to work, probably we need more hours. We need somebody to work 24 hours, maybe 2 shifts, because we need people to, let's say, paint, or we need people to do the labor
Tank
work,
cleaning or something on board
right?
if we talk.
So man hours is something which would probably you can take from multiple people, but you want to do 24 hours, or you want somebody to work 90 hours a week. It's up to you. But when we are talking about doing innovation and innovative things, we don't want people to be mentally tired for that.
Right.
They will not be able to think for a solution, and we don't really want that. And of course, they will get burned out. In my opinion, they will get burned out. I may be too junior to comment on that. Somebody who's at that position has said probably they are doing something different than us. But I can only speak about our organization, and it's my opinion. It's not based on any study.
Right. But
Right.
it makes sense actually. It all depend upon job. But I'm talking about the other another incident I touch upon also that you have given a 1 week off on board to your team from 25th December to a 31st.
Yes.
What is that story, sir?
So we were doing coastal voyages in one of the vessels, and very busy schedule. And then we had some inspection coming up, charters inspection, I think, if I remember correctly. We had a lot of things to fix. We had a lot of work to do. And I was chief officer that time, and I discussed with master that he said, how will we plan this few days, I think about 3 or 4 weeks left for that inspection. And then we made a list of things that need to be fixed, and it was a long list. And I discussed with the bosun
Deck team.
that this is the list of jobs, and just to motivate them, I told them that see, the shore guys are going off from 25th to 31st. Most of them will not be there in the office. We'll do the same thing here.
On board.
Of course, the watchkeepers will have to do the watch, but otherwise we'll give you off. He did not believe me. He said that has never happened. So I said, okay, but take my word, it will happen if you complete all of this. And they did it. They did it much before 25th, and then they did a lot of extra work also.
Okay.
And 24th, he comes to me and says, Chief, you promised us.
आपने
I
बोला
said, yes,
था.
I promised you. Let me just finally tell Captain and confirm with him. I went to Captain. He said, no, how can this happen? I said, you also committed. The work is done. We need to give this. And what is the harm in that? He says, if somebody from office asks me, what should I tell them? I said, you tell them the whole list that you have completed in this month. What is the harm? What is negative about it? The whole office is off. Why
Right.
can't people on board be off?
Right.
If they have done the job, of course. So it should be justifiable, I think. The work quality, the inspection went very well after
Okay.
that. People were so happy. And you've sailed, you're still sailing. I have sailed. People on board get happy at very small things.
Yes, of course.
If they get $100 bonus,
They are very
they
happy.
will forget about their $4,000, $5,000 salary.
Yes.
They will be happy about that
Because
$100.
and they are keep talking only about those extra bucks.
Yes.
They are not more worried about anything else.
Right?
So, but sir, as shore on board, I think this is your mentorship that you worked with the people, and people start trusting on you,
Right.
and that's why running a successful show on board, and now
So
you're
I think
running
you have
at
to
shore.
understand that you are into a commercial business. You are not in a government job,
Right,
right? Uh, your business has to perform. For business to perform, your ship has to perform. For your ship to perform, you have to perform.
right. Yeah, one very small thing can
Yes,
cancel your assignment.
and that can actually go up and probably become a problem for the whole fleet.
Right,
You will, if one aspect you do wrong, let's say, you know that the ship cannot be diverted, or let's say not come to diversion, you want to sign off for no reason, just that your contract has completed. There's nothing that you're going to do ashore, you know that internally, and still you make a scene and you just do a lot of things, divert the vessel and all that. Fine, probably the owner would do that,
but
but it is going to have some effect on the whole fleet,
right, right,
right? And for the sake, if there was such a dire emergency, then it is understandable.
right.
But you yourself know there was nothing like that.
Yes,
You've come to a career where this is a norm, that you will only sign off when in a normal port of call where it is convenient to sign off.
right,
Accept the fact
right.
and treat it like your own business.
Yes.
If you do business, what decision will you make?
Yeah, that
Which is,
understanding should be there.
yes, of course, I'm not saying that you play around with safety of life. That is again paramount. Never bypass that. But think like a businessman, even if you're doing a job.
Then you will be a more successful in your
Yes,
career.
you will be better at making decisions which are effective for the whole organization.
Right, right,
And that will, in fact, benefit you. That's your bread and butter also.
right.
How many companies will you change?
Yes,
Tell me.
yes.
See,
After some time, the companies will also know that
right,
this guy is jumping from A to B
right,
very soon.
right.
That is not good for your career, and
You have
not
to settle down somewhere. And
right.
you will only settle when you start thinking in a way that will be good for the whole organization.
Yes,
Don't think negative about it. They are not there to make things worst for you. They are there to give you employment.
yes,
Your whole family is surviving on that.
right. So, sir, what is your advice for the seafarer? Those are still sailing and they would like to settle ashore.
Well, my personal advice would be that you should have a plan in place first, or to take care of your liabilities, how you're going to manage funds for the time you're going to be here, you're going to be working or learning. And then second plan should be in place of what you're going to do, how you are going to do, and what all factors will be there to judge whether you are successful in the endeavor that you're doing or not. You should also look at taking advice from various people who are there in that particular industry. Let's say you are going to open a restaurant. You need to work in that restaurant maybe as an intern or any other position. Have a list of things that you want to know from that business before you leave from there. So maybe 1 or 2, 3 months you are learning at their cost. Plus, that will speed up your process of running that business. Just don't be overconfident initially that everything will fall in place for you. You'll be too lucky if that happens. But there's no harm in learning again, because if you are going to move to a different kind of business, because sailing and doing business, even in shipping, are very different. They are two sides of the same coin. And you will have to become a cadet again, believe me. So just shorten up your time by planning the funds, and by planning what you're going to do and how you're going to do. That's my personal advice, I think.
Sir, thank you very much for today being with us. I hope you enjoyed and you have delivered us so inspirational things which we everybody is looking actually, and especially about the mentorship and the working hours which you talk even your office and on board. That is really inspiring. It is all about mentorship. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for bringing me to this platform, and I hope we can help our fellow seafarers.
Yes, of course, sir. From this platform, and anybody can contact you also on your LinkedIn, Captain Arjun Singh Kalra. We are bringing out the industry expertise to you so that you guys can have a more knowledge about the stuff which you wanna do or which you wanna learn. Thank you very much for watching us. Keep subscribe and like us on YouTube. Sailor Talk. Thank you.